feel bad for like teenagers because it's such a tough age. You just copy whoever seems charismatic. You know, like when I was 13, I actually did this for like 2 weeks. I pretended to have a limp just because I watched House and I thought House was cool. Do you guys remember? Like, obviously, the limp is not what made House cool. But, you know, I was a kid. I didn't know how to copy that like "fuck me grumpy" thing he was doing. You know, I couldn't be all sexy cantankerous. So I was just in school, just like, how's it going, everybody? And it didn't make me look cool. It made my parents look suspicious. Because I wouldn't tell anybody why I was limping. And I couldn't be like, because of a doctor, you know. So I did the same thing after I watched Pirates of the Caribbean. It was even worse. You know how Jack Sparrow talks with all that, like, this? What I found is when I did that, people didn't think I was a quirky pirate. People thought I was making fun of MS. You know, I'd be like, parlay? They're like, my aunt has that. The worst is when kids copy other kids. Then it just gets nonsense. Like, I remember, I think I was a sophomore in high school. It was like before a dance, all the boys were together, and we were changing into our, you know, suits or whatever. And this one kid who was feeling confident, I guess, he just takes out his penis. He's like, look how big my penis is. So all the other kids are like, well, I have a big penis too. So everyone starts taking out their penis, except for just one kid who I guess wasn't feeling confident but still wanted to participate, you know? So he just took out his balls, but he left his penis. He's like, look how big my balls are. And it kind of worked. Everybody was like, oh, damn, dude, big balls. And I was in the back heckling, like, hey, where's his penis, though? Like, let's see that penis. And I didn't take out anything. I just stood in the back yelling at people. And it wasn't because I knew how weird this would be one day. Honestly, it was because I was scared. And I still think about that. You know, I'm like, who would I be today had I had the courage to show those boys my penis? Timothy Chalamet? Maybe. He would have done it. Right? And he would have been aloof about it, too. You'd be like, Timothy, you going to take out your penis? He'd be like, dude, my penis has been out for an hour and a half. You'd be like, holy shit. I just watched him in that movie, Call Me By Your Name. Have you guys seen that? I watched this movie, and it really dawned on me from this movie how little I know about Italy. Because this movie is set like 50 years ago, and I couldn't even tell. I just thought that's what Italy looked like. You know, everybody's using rotary phones, and the cars are all made of like wood. But I was like, yeah, that's Italy today. Isn't that kind of like when you think of Italy, you don't think of a country in the present. Like, imagine if you met someone from Lombardy, and they were like, I work in the cybersecurity. You'd be like, no, you fucking bullshit. You're a cobbler. Oh, and then there's this other scene. So there's a scene where there's this young boy who's making passionate love to this like older man. And I was like, I think that's just Italy again. Like, is the movie gonna start soon? It's been an hour of establishing shots. You know, he's like smelling the guy's underwear. I was like, I get it. It's after dinner, but before espresso. Italy. But that's like the culture, right? Remember in school when you learned about all the ancient Greek and Roman philosophers, how they would all like fuck boys?
Yeah.
Yeah, we covered that. Not even in history, too, just classes. They would bring it up. No, remember they would be like, Pythagoras had triangles, and also we fucked boys, and you're like, what? They're like, triangles. The most infamous one was Socrates, because he was put to death, and his crime was corrupting the youth. But by corrupting the youth, they didn't even mean fucking the boys. He was like, oh, you guys got me for fucking all those boys? They were like, no, you can fuck them. You just got to stop asking them all those questions. You're filling their heads with these crazy ideas when you should be filling their butts with your wise penis. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is being a kid's tough. That's what I'm trying to. I used to get bullied when I was a kid because I had really bad dandruff, like really. It was really bad, and I went to a school that had a uniform with like a navy blue shirt. Yeah, so my shoulders just looked bedazzled. If you saw me from a distance, you'd be like, "Is Nick fabulous?" And then as you got closer, you'd be like, "Oh no, he's disgusting. That was my mistake. I'm embarrassed." My little brother was bullied. He was like a chubby kid growing up, which was so much worse. And what sucked is when you're a chubby kid, there's no like good advice for you. You know, we'd go to my dad, and my dad's like, "Nathan, why are you letting these kids bully you? You're literally twice their size." He'd be like, "Did they tell you to say that? Like, why would you?" And I went to my mom, and my mom's like, "Nathan, you just got to ignore the bullies. All bullies want is a reaction." And it's like, yeah, from the other kids. Bullies don't care what you think when they bully you. You know, you're their muse. You're not the audience. Right? When they're roasting you on the bus, and all the other kids are like, "Oh, shit!" The bullies are like, guys, shh. Nathan. Out of 10. And then he couldn't ask me for help because I'm, limping around school doing all this shit. I know, and just to be clear, I know some of those jokes are harsh. I just want to let you know, it did work out fine, okay? Several years later, he went back to the school, shot a ton of people. A ton of people. Oh, no, guys, he shot himself too. He's not an asshole. Good for me. Good for me. When I was a kid, I don't know if this tracks for anybody, but I always felt like my biggest bullies were the teachers. Remember how teachers would just randomly humiliate you? Why do they do that? I remember I was in 5th grade. My teacher in front of the class just goes, "Nick has the highest voice of all the boys." I was just like, that is devastating. She was like, no, I'm saying it's cute. Like, your voice is, it's pretty. I was like, oh, that's so much worse. Thank you, yes. I was in 5th grade. I didn't want to be good at singing. I wanted the other kids to know that I could grow pubic hair. That was a very important social currency back then. Worse, when I was in 1st grade, my teacher called me out for having diarrhea. Like I was trying to sneak back into the class from the bathroom, and no one had seen me. And so the teacher just stops what he was teaching, and he goes, "You were gone for a long time." I was like, "Yeah, man, I was shitting. I'm still new at it. Like, why would you call me on that?" And then he goes, "Was it the big D?" I was like, "Oh, that is not a code that you and I worked out beforehand. So if I can decipher it, everyone else can decipher it." And what could Big D possibly even mean? It's either diarrhea, big dick, or what, divorce? I was like, yeah, it took so long because I just couldn't sign the papers. How did we get here? And I used to think all these weird interactions were my fault. I remember in kindergarten we had one of those word find things, and I thought it would be cute if I just circled the whole thing and turned it in, right? I was like, look, technically I found all the words, right? I thought the teacher would laugh. She did not. She got the paper, and then she got in my face and just went, "This is a lie. You are a liar." And back then I was like, oh my God, I'm a liar. And now I'm like, oh no, you're an alcoholic. A word search on a Monday? Are you drunk now? To be fair, there were some teachers that were really great. I had a math teacher that actually helped me. He actually helped me get into comedy, which I thought was, I felt like it told me he really believed in me, but thinking back, I'm like, oh, maybe I was just that bad at math. Where he got my test back and he was like, have you ever thought about show business? No, but I did have one that helped. I think everybody has one or two teachers that really made a difference. That's what people tell me. I think that's true. But my thing is like, why was it only one or two? Why wasn't it most of them? Because you were a kid, and they were an adult who knew everything you needed to know and had a year to impress you, and still at the end of it you were like, eh? And how easy are kids to impress, right? If it's 10th grade or below, show them a card trick. 11th grade or above, fuck one of them. Like, it takes like 5 minutes.